Dear viewers, I'm Bersabet Taghla and this is ERi-TV English News broadcast live from the headquarters in the capital, Asmara. Coming up are the top stories that made the major headlines for today, Wednesday, 15 October. Working visit of Eritrean senior delegation to Oman. Call for preservation of cultural heritage. Dozens killed and injured in new Pakistan-Afghanistan border clashes. And NATO nation to deploy drone warfare instructors to Moldova. In your domestic reports, senior Eritrean delegation comprising Mr. Nasruddin Mohammed Saleh, Minister of Trade and Industry, and Mr. Hagos Gebrehewet, Head of Economic Affairs of the PFDJ, are conducting a two-day working visit to Oman. The delegation today met and held talks in Muscat with Qais bin Mohammed Al Yusuf, Minister of Commerce, Industry and Investment Promotion in Oman, focusing on strengthening economic friendship and cooperation between the two countries. At the meeting, the two sides reviewed the existing cooperation in the sectors of trade, industry and investment and discussed on future prospects. They also discussed on issues and developments of mutual interest. It is to be recalled that at a meeting with the President Isaias Afwerki on 24 March 2025 in Asmara, Mr. Badir bin Hamad Al Busaidi, Minister of Foreign Affairs of Oman, has presented a message from Sultan Haitham bin Tariq of Oman, focusing on strengthening bilateral ties as well as on regional and global issues of mutual interest. In other news, at a festival organized in collaboration with the National Union of Eritrean Youth and Students Branch and Culture and Sports Unit in Maimena subzone, a call was made to strengthen participation in the effort to preserve cultural heritage with a view to transfer it to generations. The festival featured traditional songs and dances, folklores, traditional sports, village traditional way of living, as well as innovation and creativity competitions, among others. The festival was participated by cultural troops from the administrative areas of Maigorzo, Ad Hannes, Ad Atina, Ad Chogono, Ma'abr Tzabla, Ad Gala, Ad-Golagul and Maimena Semi-Urban Center. The coordinators of the festival indicated that the objective of the program was to identify the rich cultural heritage and transfer it to the young generation. They also said that the program will have significant input in the future studies in the cultural sector. Mr. Girmay Gabru, head of the National Union of Eritrean Youth and Students Branch in the Southern region, said that the union branch is earnestly working in collaboration with partners in the initiative to preserve and develop the cultural heritage. Lieutenant Colonel Abraham Haile, administrator of the subzone, indicating that the subzone is rich in cultural heritage, expressed readiness of the subzonal administration to play its part in the preservation efforts. Mr. Habtab Tesfatian, governor of the region, on his part called for reinforced effort to nurture youth that adhere to the noble cultural values of the society. Dear viewers, we'll be back shortly with your international reports and more, so stay tuned. Welcome back. Clashes between Pakistani and Afghan forces have killed and wounded dozens in a remote border area as hostilities deepen between the two former allies. Both sides accused the other of triggering the deadly violence overnight yesterday, Tuesday, 14 October. In a post on X, Afghan Taliban spokesman Zabibullah Mujahid accused Pakistani forces of initiating the border fighting by firing light and heavy weapons at Afghanistan, killing 12 civilians and injuring more than 100. Mujahid claimed Afghani forces returned fire, killing a large number of Pakistani soldiers, seizing Pakistani weapons and tanks, and destroying Pakistani military installations. But Pakistani officials blamed the Afghan Taliban for first firing on a Pakistani military post near the border, causing the clashes that also wounded 4 of its own civilians. Reports quoted unnamed security officials as saying 6 Pakistani soldiers were killed in the violence. In today's final report, Britain will send counter-drone warfare instructors to Moldova. The UK Minister of Defence announced yesterday ahead of a meeting of NATO defence ministers in Brussels. The former Soviet Republic, which has formally applied to join the European Union, adopted a new 10-year military strategy earlier this month. According to the MOD, British experts will help train Moldova's armed forces in counter-drone tactics, although no further operational details were provided. Most of the UK's announcement focused on its ongoing efforts to develop new combat drones and increase deliveries to Ukraine to fuel its war efforts against Russia. Moscow has repeatedly cited NATO's steady expansion eastward as one of the root causes of the Ukraine conflict. Dear viewers, that was it for today, but before we conclude, a quick reminder of the major headlines. Working visit of Eritrean senior delegation to Oman. Call for preservation of cultural heritage. Dozens killed and injured in new Pakistan-Afghanistan border clashes. And a NATO nation to deploy drone warfare instructors to Moldova. Thank you for watching, and we'll be back tomorrow same time with more news and developments. But until then, have a good one.